Oh, moving into Want to See It. Three big releases last week.
Well, wait. Two big releases and one kind of...
Well, it was a big budget release
Okay.
that played in a lot of
I'll give you
theaters.
that.
So three big releases last week. And, uncharacteristically, Tim saw one,
Yep.
and I saw the other one. We had enough sense to stay away from the third one.
Your brother, apparently not.
My brother, not so much. So, let's get into I Love You Man.
Okay, I saw I Love You Man. I will say this, it's funny. Projectile vomit, I'll say that.
Right.
They're both good in it. Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. Jamie Presley was good.
Was it as funny as you were expecting?
There's a lot of lovey-dovey stuff in there that was kind of,
Right.
I did think it was about 20 minutes too long. It's about an hour and 50 minutes.
So, do I need to see it at the movies or can I wait for the DVD?
I would wait for DVD, just because there's so many good movies coming out in the next few weeks that I think you should hold your money for.
All right.
It's funny. I think you'd love it on DVD, but there's enough stuff coming out,
I get where
like
you're
Monsters
going
vs.
with it.
Aliens and stuff like that.
Okay.
You should see it instead. And it was way too long. It dragged for a while, and the ending was completely... saw it coming out of the blue.
Right.
They couldn't trick you at all.
All right.
About you. You saw Duplicity with Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts and Clive Owen. Let me just take a minute and think
Okay.
about Clive Owen.
All right.
Look, no disrespect to Daniel Craig, but wow, Clive Owen should be James Bond. He is just that charming. Like, you could just hear women in the theater just, every time he pops up on the screen, just losing their minds. But, it's a real sort of a, caper, double cross. You see some of the pieces like an Ocean's 11 Mission Impossible type where you never really know the whole story until they get to the end and they're pulling this big con job on these two giant corporations.
Okay.
And so you're just sort of given little clues at a time, and it does jump through time. So I'll say this, you have to pay close attention. I'm not saying you have to take notes or anything.
Oh, okay, good.
You don't need a flow chart.
All right.
But you definitely, it's not a movie that you want to be watching and then, go to something else and come back.
Oh, okay.
You gotta watch the whole movie and pay attention. And Julia Roberts and Clive Owen, just chemistry for days. And I think that's what saved it from being just an everyday average sort of, caper movie, was their chemistry. They pulled it through. But I would say the same thing. It was enjoyable. But with all the good movies coming out, you could totally wait for a DVD.
All right. And then we all skipped Knowing because we all knew that
we knew
Knowing
it was going to happen.
Yeah. This week, big week, got 12 Rounds, the John Cena movie.
John Cena.
Got Haunting in Connecticut, which is kind of a low budget, I'm sure it's PG-13-ish.
Yeah.
Scary movie. And Monsters vs. Aliens and Monsters vs. Aliens in 3D. So you have 4 choices.
Monsters vs. Aliens looks really adorable. Looks like it should be a lot of fun. Probably the choice of the week.
I'm going to be seeing it this weekend. I'm taking my niece.
Aw, sweet.
They just put a 3D theater in at the Plaza.
Oh, really?
So I will be seeing it in 3D. It costs a little more.
Okay.
I think it's like $4 extra a ticket. Okay. In news of the week,
got a lot of news.
We'll start with the big news, money-wise.
Right.
It was announced Lawrence Fishburne's contract with CSI is worth $14 million, which is a lot.
Well, it makes sense to me in the idea that I was wondering what they did to get a bona fide Academy Award nominated movie star of Lawrence Fishburne's caliber to do television.
Yeah.
So on that aspect, it makes sense to me that they will be paying him a lot of money.
Well, I went back and I looked at William Peterson, what he was making. He was making, I think they said, about $350,000 an episode.
Yeah.
So if you break that down, that's about $8 million a year. So it's not a big leap to go to 14 from 8 to 14.
And for CBS, CSI is the franchise.
Yes.
So they're going to do whatever they can to keep it.
And I think he's doing a great job. I love the show.
Really? I know you like it.
I think it's been surviving without William Peterson because his character's so interesting.
That was the question. Like, without William Peterson, how would it be? Because he was the glue that holds the show
now you have
together.
Marg Helgenberg sort of stepped up to take over the leadership role, and I think she does a good job because they show them more like going out to dinner together. And, like,
okay.
They're really being a mentor to him and like high-fiving him and hugging him and
all right.
stuff like that.
The other big TV news of the week, I guess, is the Sci-Fi channel, which is, I know, a favorite channel of mine.
Yes.
I watch it a lot, probably almost every day. They have decided they're going to change the name of the channel to Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay,
Now,
so let's do this. This is how it looks normally. So on the screen, Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah.
And so here's what they're changing it to. I don't get it.
Well, apparently they say that because sci-fi, the way the traditional spelling and the name of the channel now, is a genre, and they cannot copyright that and they can't brand it. But if they just change the spelling and it's still sci-fi, that's something they can copyright and brand, and it's theirs. And I also think they're trying to get away from being just a science fiction channel.
Yeah.
They want to be more about the fantasy
Edgy.
and thrillers and horror, and they've got their reality shows that they show and that sort of thing. So, I guess they want to seem, like you say, a little more edgy, so that's why they're changing the name. I think the whole thing's a little ridiculous,
Me too.
honestly.
Speaking of ridiculous,
The Three Stooges movie?
Yes.
So, they're... Of course, because
Rumors.
Hollywood has no original ideas. It seems like it took them a long time to get around to this, but they're going to make a movie about the Three Stooges. Now, is it going to be a Three Stooges movie or like a Three Stooges biopic?
I don't know. They're
We
still
don't-
writing it.
It sounds to me, based on the cast, that they are going towards biopic.
Well, this is like a wish list cast, too. So.
Well, I heard that one of them's locked in and the other two are really close.
All right, just go ahead and do it so I can just get it over with.
So, Sean Penn, Jim Carrey, and Benicio del Toro. In a million years, if you were casting a Three Stooges movie, how far down the list would those three be?
Yeah.
Maybe not Jim Carrey, because, that's his style, but Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro? Has Sean Penn done a comedy since Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
No.
Benicio del Toro? He's not really known for his
Excess
comedy
baggage?
chops. Yeah, he doesn't claim that, I'm sure.
Okay, well, that's enough for me.
That's just a mind bender. I don't
Yeah.
know what to make of that.
Speaking of mind benders,
Right.
these transitions, we hired our transitionist from last week. The Wolverine movie, they released what we call a roll call trailer, which they stop and announce like who's in the movie. It's like Wolverine. They show Wolverine, Sabretooth. They show Sabretooth, and they show Emma Frost, Wraith, Agent X, Blob, Cyclops. No Deadpool. And we've talked about this on the show that, we're worried about Deadpool sucking in the movie. I think this is an indication that
they know that Deadpool...
They know something's going on.
They know that Deadpool's going to suck. They know the fans are not happy with what they're doing. So I think they're trying to make it an afterthought. They're trying to get you excited about all the other mutants that are going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
And then, oh, by the way, Deadpool's in it too.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that on the vlog.
Yeah.
All right, so last but not least.
Stump the host.
All right, let's do this.
So, we didn't mention it in news,
Okay.
but Tom Hanks announced this week that he's making a new movie based on a toy from the 60s, Major Matt Mason.
Never heard of it.
I never heard of either. It was before our time, but I just thought, hey, Tom Hanks, let me throw a little Tom Hanks question at you.
Okay.
So,
I'm on it.
Tom Hanks and Kevin Costner were reportedly both asked to play the lead in this movie.
I have no idea.
No, but I'll give you a hint, because that would be, it's an Academy Award nominated film. It's a classic. Let me see. It's from the last 10 years or so.
Insider?
It's not Insider.
Okay, I give up.
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay. Well,
So they were both up for the Tim Robbins role, apparently, but they passed.
that would have been good.
It would have been interesting.
Yeah. Well, on that losing note, check out our blog, inscapeblog.blogspot.com, and check us out next week.